Hi, I'm Carla Cannon. I am a homeschooling mom with 3 kids, and my youngest daughter, my last child, just finished her first grade year, and I wanted to go ahead while it was fresh in my mind and just share some of the things we used, what worked really well for us, and just encourage you, if you are considering homeschooling, that you can do it. There are curriculum and tools out there to help you, and so I just wanted to share some of the things that worked really well for us. I'm going to link another video I did called our daily language arts routine for kids in those very early grades, which is really, I think, helpful because I go into more detail about what kind of steps we go through with reading and language arts and all that. So I'm going to kind of skim over that now. But suffice it to say that we try to keep things in these early years quick, efficient, and we really work, not for a long time, but try to use our time well when we do work. And so the curriculum that has worked really well for us, and I have a whole nother video going kind of in depth into that. We switched to, for the first time, all about reading, and my daughter completed level 1, and that was wonderful for us. We really enjoyed the curriculum. I highly recommend it, and it really holds your hand as a parent and walks you step by step through teaching your child to read. And so that's all I'm going to say about that. You can check out the other video for more, but that worked out really well, and that had everything from student activity pages to the parent guide to readers, and so that was what encompassed our reading portion of first grade, our learning to read. I have used with my other kids throughout the years the Explode the Code program, and so we continued with that because all about reading is there's no worksheets, it's just reading practice. And so the Explode the Code actually was a really nice supplement that you wouldn't have to do, but I'm familiar with it, and so we went ahead and did that in addition to all about reading. She finished the Explode the Code book 2 this year, and it is a nice combination of, they work on blends, they read some sentences, there's not much writing, but there is some. So we really like that. That was a nice little piece of our first grade language arts program. So we had our, reading and phonics instruction. We have some extra practice that we did with that. She read the readers that came with the All About Reading. And then as far as writing goes, we don't use a handwriting program. We just I teach them how to, form their letters properly. And we do copy work in first grade. So I also have a video on spelling UC, and it's a copywork curriculum, and we didn't complete. We used level B, book 1, and we did not complete it, and I'm not the least bit worried about completing it. She can just carry that on into her second grade year, but it is just so nicely laid out for copywork. So you have, would be a day's worth of work, and it's all nursery rhymes. And I really like, that they have it, so I don't have to think about it. It's all right there. So they do the little bit of copy work, and then you dictate some words for them to do for spelling. And if you look at this online and you see that your child can't necessarily read every word of the copy work, that didn't bother me. My daughter couldn't either, but that wasn't a problem for us because this was to work on copywork. So if there was a word that she couldn't read yet, maybe like spoon, then I just told it to her, no problem. This was copywork. And the spelling words portion was completely within her ability, just using short vowels and some, initial blends like GL for glad and things like that. So that was her writing and spelling kind of combined. This doesn't take more than, between 5 and 10 minutes we would spend on that. And then to mix it up a little bit, for the first time I have a child who enjoys drawing. So you may have heard of a program called Draw and then Write now. That's a fun program for kids who like drawing, but we just kind of did our own version of it. She would draw a picture and then dictate a sentence to me and copy it underneath. And so we did that some days. So we have a whole little notebook full of things she's done over the course of the year. So that was a fun way to approach that. And that was pretty much our language arts component, other than sight words. I think sight words, they're not really a part of All About Reading, but I do think they're important for first graders to memorize some of those words that you just can't have a hope of sounding out. And so I just made flashcards, just as something independent that she could do on her own. We used the Red Apple reading program, and that was something she did completely independently, except you can find the parent. It was, if you search for Red Apple reading, scope and sequence, and scroll way down, for each lesson it'll give you a summary of what your child is learning, and then also what sight words they're going to be learning in the program. And so I just tried to keep a couple lessons ahead of her, and I made flashcards for the sight words, and that's where we got our sight words from. So we'd make those, we'd do those for a minute each day that we did school and flip through them, and that was really helpful for the program, and we were getting that sight word practice in as well. So that is kind of how we approach the language arts. It sounds like a lot, but truly we are not spending more than 20 to 30 minutes total, including reading, phonics, copywork, spelling, you name it. So for math, I have a math mom confession here. We mostly do math online in K1 and 2 using the Mathseeds program. It's an online subscription. It's great. I have other kids. I'm busy like all the rest of you moms, and this is something that she just worked through completely independently. She liked doing it. And then to kind of supplement that, I have a Horizons math book that we did some of the pages on, definitely not all, but as I was like, okay, let's work on a little addition or subtraction, telling time, whatever the case may be. Then she would do it here in the book, and generally not even a full page because she understood it. It was just a way for her to take what she was learning online and then practice it, where she's actually writing things out. So this is great. You could really use just about anything from, Canadian curriculum to something, a little workbook that you get at Walmart for math in these early years. So Mathseeds, I highly recommend it. Your kids will love it. And really it teaches them most of what they need to know. And you could supplement just a couple times a week with a page here and there from a math book. As far as science and social studies went for her first grade year, we just do a lot of reading together as a family, and then her and I just alone because she's my youngest. And so, we do everything from nursery rhymes to, I really love Usborne books. I'm a huge fan. We have so many. And so, for example, we liked this book for science this year, and we just read through this, and we would do typically 2 pages a day. So we would read that and that. Or sometimes if we were learning about something she was interested in, then we would read nothing from this and read about, had a thing on bats for a while, or whales, or just things from the library. So really science, social studies, anything other than math and reading is covered through read alouds and just talking about it. The other thing that I really like for science is you can find on YouTube Mystery Doug. He has 5-minute short little science question and answer lessons, and the kids learn just so much from those. They're fantastic. So that's a great resource as well. And then it's very similar for social studies. We more little Usborne books, things from the library, now and then. I read her the first several books of the Grandma's Attic series this year, which is just lovely little tales, and they learn about what it would have been like to live long ago. And that, we just cover so much. If you haven't, you must read Sarah Mackenzie's The Read Aloud Family, and that will just give you a beautiful foundation for reading to your children, and just know how much you can cover in just something as simple as a read aloud. So these are the things that worked really well for us. I am a little nostalgic over the fact that this will be my last child that I will do first grade with, but I just encourage you to just take it slow when they're little. Do something in short amounts, do it consistently, but don't worry about teaching them all the things when they're 6 or 7. They've got lots of time, you've got lots of time, and they will understand everything. I would just, use a program that you feel comfortable with, and something that doesn't go too crazy in depth to grammar and punctuation and things like that. They don't need all of that at this age. They'll pick those up so easily and quickly when they're a little bit older. So do some copy work, have them read to you, do some math, and then you read to them, and you will just have a wonderful first grade year with your kids. So just enjoy them. It goes really fast, as everyone says, but here I am with my last one. All right, bye-bye.